Ultimate Aussie Legends. Matt, double over my voice for that, because we're really here to emphasise the unsung heroes of Australia, which is why we're going to steer clear of individual legends. Otherwise, this would just be an entire video of David Koch in certain periods of his career on Sunrise, such as 2003 David Koch was pretty legendary because he was really breaking the ground of morning television, but he really peaked in 2006, that Joe Hockey Kevin Rudd era, pure gold. We all know that anyway. There doesn't need to be a video on that. There should be an entire museum devoted to it. What we're talking about is broad sectors of society that are in general legends. For example, gingers with a very positive outlook on life. You know, what Luke McGregor tries to be, but every time you see him on ABC, you think, nah. Those guys that never get laid, but are pretty close to getting laid, but always just fall in that category of, just such a special man. Would you ever have sex with me? No. Those guys are great. They're friends with everyone on Earth, no matter who you ask them about. What do you think of Jono? Yeah, Jono's a legend. What about Assad? Yeah, he definitely didn't use chemical weapons. I think if you break down to its purest essence, why ginger dudes are awesome. You know how someone with a 4th stage terminal illness is at peace with life? They were born with that. It is so genetically rare for there to be a ginger. In your 10 million sperm cells, there would be one with that little Jufro going, hey guys, wake up, with a little Tamagotchi bag on. Every now and then they strike gold, get through, and then as soon as they go out, they're just like, oh, yep, this one's going to be a ginger. He got sunburned from the fluorescent light. Number 2, old Asian women that own a small eatery that's been there since the Big Bang. Was definitely there since before human beings existed. This Tyrannosaurus Rex charging at her as she yells, hello, can I take your order? And every time you get the same thing until about 3 years into your relationship, she says, you always get salad wrong. Get something else. What? Everything else I make not good? How much better would Studio 10 be if she was Kerry Ann Kenley? Okay, so the Melbourne Cup's on. Who's your hot tip? Let's go around the panel. Miss Win? House racing barbaric. You buy salad row. Interesting. Joe Hildebrand, what do you think? No one gives a fuck. I don't know why you're here. Number 3, when you're loaded and you really feel like a cigarette and you go, dude, can I bum one? And he says, yeah, of course, man. And then you say, just to be polite, I'll give you $1 for it, don't worry. And then his response is, mate, don't worry about it. He's just happy someone else is getting cancer in this day and age with him. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Scotty the Legend, Lord of the Darts. Always adding when you say, oh yes, and you don't even have beach. Yeah, I wouldn't smoke that shit, I'd rather smoke hair. Number 4, mums that are so pro afternoon tea that they blur the lines as to what afternoon tea and dinner actually entails. They pretty much created Aussie mukbang, and you know if you're in the presence of such a lady, if they have Don ham, coon cheese, jats, and sayos. And then, for dessert, or is it part of the meal? Oh, you decide. That's what afternoon tea's all about. Cadbury favourites, and not just the shit Moro bars either, the whole range. And if it's around Easter time, and I'm talking a 6-month window here, furry friends.
Remember things? Let's all remember things together.
And then when you point out that you're spoiling your appetite, because if you're a mum that is into afternoon tea, you are putting dinner on the table at 6 p.m. sharp. As soon as you see Peter Overton's face, if it's not there, she's in hospital. That's the only reason it wouldn't be there, and it's just this on rotation. Pasta bake, Tuesday. Nachos, Wednesday. Pasta bake. So many carbs. Jordan Peterson would have thought he died and gone to hell. What do you mean you only serve beef on Sundays? How do you get through the other 6 godforsaken days? Number 5, anyone who watches Sydney Weekender and says, oh, I like Mike Whitney every single Sunday. And I know we said we're going to make it a rule that we weren't going to give any shout outs to any specific people, but come on, Mike Whitney. In fact, 5.5. Every Channel 7 personality bar Nat. Legend. Channel 7 is the opposite of Channel 10. Every host on Channel 10 is a cunt except Sandra Sully. We should have forced Sandra Sully and Mike Whitney to have a baby just so we had the ultimate Australian legend. Either force Mike Whitney and Sandra Sully to breed like pandas or deport Grant Denyer. Those are your options.
But pandas don't breed very much. They're notorious for not breeding.
That's the whole thing. I'm sure that they can't even have sex at this point. They're both extremely old. We'll just get in vitro fertilization going on or anything that we can. Just to make this happen. Number 6, any old Australian suburban male that looks like former New South Wales opposition leader Michael Daley and has that, yeah, not happening today, champ. Who has all these old forgotten Australian expressions at his fingertips, like, tell you what, when they made you, they mustn't have had any brains in stock. And he was in your life quite a lot for 6 months, and you only realised when you were older it was because he was hitting on your mum. And even as a kid, you were thinking, man, I wish you were my dad. Like, let's just be honest, you're way better. You still see him every now and then. He goes, g'day, champ. You still like your Zoids? No, Stephen, I'm 37. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Tell you what, it was a pretty crazy show. What were they? Robot animals. The Japs think of some pretty gnarly stuff. Number 7, your primary school friend's older brother that you liked more than your friend almost entirely because he was in year 9. Taught you cool things like, oi, Jordan, you know what a budgie bite is? Your little friend would run out of the room squealing like a pig. So what you want to do is get that kind of beep, 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 beep shape because that fucking canes. That's about 80% of it because he was in high school and he used to bully your friend in front of you so you felt like some Roman emperor watching a gladiatorial match. Then the other 20%, the only thing you ever saw him do that could even be possibly considered as nice for your friend is when he'd say, Nathan, can you do the GTA cheat for me? And then like a leprechaun that is bound by oath to come to you when you blow a special whistle, he'd lurk out of his room and say, step aside. Okay, so to spawn the tank in GTA Vice City, it's like when your dad tried to teach you how to change a tyre. You listening? I'm sick of showing ya. Circle, circle, L1, circle, 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 L1, L2, R1, triangle, circle, triangle. And as he walked back into the murky fog of his room, which you were never, ever fucking allowed in, leprechaun oath kept, he'd say, yep. Number 8, chicks that are stoners. Guys that are stoners, 50% of them are loners that are into weird conspiracy theories. The other 50% are legends. But 100% of women who are stoners, every single time you see them, they're never passively pissed off that you're hanging out with their friend because it's their boyfriend and they were supposed to do something on the weekend. None of that. Their whole life is doing nothing. Every time you see them, have you seen that Cash Me Outside chick? The videos that the project goes, this video's going viral, she would have shown you 6 months before that. She lives 6 months in the future. Number 9, can we just give a standing ovation to every butcher in Australia? Every single one of them. If there is a bad butcher in this country, it's because he's serving up humans and labeling it as pork, and even then it only takes a few points off him. Still a legend. How can any Australian not be a legend when they refer to anyone from the age of 5 to 14 as champ? Can I have 600 grams of chicken wings? Sure thing, champ. Is 630 okay? Yes. Yeah, I'll just put it down for 600. Are you sure? Yeah, you said 600. You get 600. See you next time, champ. Always winning bronze in some gourmet sausage championship in specifically 2003. Still proud of it, as they should be. Number 10. Any guy with a navy blue jacket on sitting in one of those pubs that's never played a single song in its entire 150-year existence. It's always just been the muffled sound of gambling in the background going... You pull up a chair next to him at the bar to watch the footy. He's watching it. Doesn't take his eyes off the screen. Just imparts this mythical wisdom to you. This is the Australian version of magic. When they can call, yeah, TAB reckons the Raiders are going to take it from the Tigers, but I saw Sam Williams training the other day on bloody Win News. He's got something wrong with his foot. I reckon he's buggered it up, so the Tigers are going to take this one easy. And he was right! How could someone be that accurate and that drunk? If he put as much effort into his career, there wouldn't be a need for another miner. He would have dug the entire mine himself. Spent over the span of his lifetime $3.8 million on pokies, but to be fair, he won back $2.7 million. When you ask him about the other $1.1 million, he says, yeah, it's not a waste if you're having fun, mate. Everyone's got their hobbies. I've still got a house, still got a car, laughing. And he reminds you constantly about the best decision of his life, which was him divorcing his wife in 2014. Always using the word fun to describe it, going, well, the divorce wasn't fun, but I was telling her, I was saying, Cheryl, you're not finding this fun, I'm not finding this fun, let's call it quits. And you know who's number 11 on the list of legends? You, for clicking like. And click the notification button. That makes you an ultimate legend. And also click subscribe. But that's just your civic duty. That's just like going to war when Australia's under attack. You got to do that. See you next episode.
Please share and comment below. Comment.
Don't you know what's in store? What's in show? Weekend. Come on, let's go on a Sydney weekend. Come on, let's go
on a Sydney weekend.
Come on, let's go.